It's Jessica, and I am here again with the Lovewell Foundation to talk to you about therapists. So today I'm going to just give you a little information about how to select and find the right therapist for you. So basically, you've gotten to where you're ready to kind of make an appointment. You've decided you're going to go ahead and look for some help with something. So you go into your computer and you Google, therapists near me, and 5 billion different links come up. So how do you kind of narrow down that list? So first thing you should do is know your goal. So what's your goal for therapy? What do you want to accomplish? Why are you seeking help? So, you can be as specific as possible, but just kind of have an idea in your head about what the point of this therapy is going to be. So is it, one certain event that you're trying to kind of deal with? Is it just overall stress management? Is it addiction or anxiety, depression? Are you looking for better communication skills because your, relationship is struggling? So just, knowing that can be super helpful, because then you go on to step 2, which is you can search by specialty. So a lot of therapists specialize in different things, maybe a few different things. For instance, family and marriage counseling, couples counseling. Some people focus on trauma. I'm going to apologize. My dog is running around today, so sorry. Some people focus on trauma, some addiction. There's dialectical behavioral therapy, which is a super popular therapy for substance abuse, obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety, eating disorders. So that is, a certain specific specialty of a therapist. Another one is cognitive behavioral therapy, which is really common, and it's very helpful with a lot of different mental health issues. And it's just basically changing your thoughts and behaviors to get a different outcome. So, if you know those types of things, you can actually search by specialty. So, that can be really helpful narrowing down the list as well. And you don't have to know the specific type of therapy. Those are just a couple of common ones. But even if you just know, okay, my goal is to, stop binge eating, you want to focus on finding someone who specializes in eating disorders. So it doesn't have to be that you look up actually specific therapies unless, that's something you've been told by someone else. So those were just a couple of common ones that sometimes get searched. So once you've done that, you need to know what you're comfortable with. So when you think about sitting down and talking to someone about things that are pretty personal, and you're going to get advice and help from this person, you want to be comfortable. So, female, male, if you have a preference, now's the time to say it. It doesn't matter. A lot of people prefer talking to females. Every once in a while, I will get females who do prefer talking to males. Just kind of sometimes depends on the topic. Males, for the most part, it's just what they're comfortable with. A lot of them are more comfortable talking to females. I don't know why, but either way, what is your comfort level as far as that? Do you have a specific religious or cultural background that you want this person to have? If so, then they might have a better idea of what you're going through, or maybe their suggestions and the tools they give you and resources might be more in line with your beliefs too. So that can be something that's super important. Ask for recommendations. That's the next step. So if you don't want to just Google it, find out, if your primary care has somebody that they refer to. If you're comfortable asking family and friends, that's great, because sometimes they can kind of give you better information on who to go to and who not to. But also, there's a lot of ways that even through the internet, you can search, not just by specialty, but there are, Christian groups online that can refer you to therapists that, follow that religious background. Really, any of them, if you just look online with those specific, identifiers, you can usually find a group that has some information. And if at any time you have questions or something that you would like me to give you more information on, a specific, group or cultural background or anything I can help you find in your area, just let me know and I'll be happy to try and get you those resources. So those are all important things. The other thing I want to talk about really quickly is once you've kind of narrowed it down and you've made your appointment, the very first appointment, in my office, what they call it is a biopsychosocial. It's just a fancy word for like a really deep get to know you session. So basically they go back and talk about, everything, your childhood, your family, medical history, they go into all of it. And, you can kind of be as specific as you want. Some people are more comfortable that first time giving information. Other people, hold back a little more. It's really whatever you're comfortable with. But it's kind of, like I said, just like a meet and greet. So just to see how you guys feel. If you're not comfortable with that person, which after one session, it's difficult to tell because you're not really hitting on a lot of those topics that, are your main goal of therapy. So I suggest giving it 2 to 3 sessions before making a decision whether to, find someone else. But after a couple of sessions, if you really don't feel comfortable, do not hesitate to say something. Most of the time, it's, either a group practice, okay, so you can ask to see someone else. If that's not the case, you just don't have to go back. Therapists, a lot of times, people feel bad, or they feel guilty, or they're worried the therapist is going to be offended. So they just keep going to therapy. But if you cannot be comfortable, honest, open, and really be able to divulge whatever it is that you need to, if you can't do that, the therapy isn't going to work. And the chances are, if you're not comfortable, the therapist probably isn't either. Sometimes it's just not a good fit, and that's okay. And they do not take it personally. So I really try to encourage patients, like, it's okay. They hear that a lot. There's a certain level of comfort that you have to have with these people. It's a different kind of a relationship. It's not just like meeting a friend out, for a cup of coffee. Like, there's a lot of deep stuff that has to happen. So the comfort has to be there. And if it's not, they do not, like I said, they don't take it personally. They're not going to be mad. They're not going to come after you. It's okay. Just either, like I said, if it's a private practice and they're by themselves, just don't make another appointment. It's okay. Don't be rude and like make the appointment and just never show up. If you have to tell them, or if they ask you, just say, look, I just don't feel comfortable. It's just not a good fit. I promise they're not going to get upset. And if they do, you're better off anyway. But they are not going to, it's not going to be the first time they've heard it. A couple things you should look for when you go, for these first couple appointments. So, are they being real? Do they seem fake? Or do they seem like they're actually, there to listen to you? They should not seem like they have all the answers and, you're coming to them so that they can tell you exactly what to do. That's not how it works. It's a, mutual situation where you're on the same playing field, okay? And it should be something where you're having a two-way conversation. Are they reliable? Do they keep your appointments? Are they changing times all, last minute? Are they canceling? They need to be as respectful of your time as you are of theirs. I mean, you make an appointment, that's your time, and you need to make sure that, you're getting everything that you're paying for. And it's just disrespectful for them if they're, not showing up or canceling. Is it a healthy environment? Do you feel comfortable in the environment? So, it doesn't have to be super posh, leather couches and all those things. But is it clean? Is it safe? Is it a place that's, therapeutic? There's nothing there that's distracting and making it so you can't talk. And make sure that they are not overstepping boundaries. So they shouldn't be, messaging or texting or emailing or calling, too much outside of just talking about your sessions or scheduling. They shouldn't be, it's not a friend, it's still a therapist. They shouldn't be trying to meet up with you outside of the sessions. They shouldn't be making remarks that make you uncomfortable, like racist or sexist comments. There should be no issue about confidentiality. They should discuss that up front with you, because that's an important topic, and they need to make sure that you know what their confidentiality, protocol is. I will tell you, in a very general sense, anything you say is completely confidential, unless you talk about hurting yourself or someone else. Then they are mandated to say something. But other than that, barring legal or other small issues here and there, that's really the confidentiality protocol for most places. Sometimes the therapist does have like a supervisor or someone that they might go to for advice if they feel like they need some help, or someone who can provide you with more resources or something. But even then, they should probably, they would discuss that with you up front before they would go and say something. But that's another important thing that you should discuss with them. So overall, the important thing is that you're super comfortable, because it's in order for it to work effectively, you have to be. So, and again, if you guys have any questions about a specific type of therapy or a situation that you're in that you wanted to know, how could you find, what would you look for, what would you search for a therapist in that specialty, just let me know, and I'm happy to try and give you some guidance or resources that could be helpful. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next month.